Right, guys. So talking about referrals. So before I get into it, obviously in the business, right, there's various ways that we can bring in clientele. One of the main ways you want to be bringing clients is through building your business, through going out field training new agents that you're bringing on. But sometimes there's some downtime. People want to study, people are traveling, things of that nature. So we still got to produce. So getting referrals is very, very, very important. So let's go into it. I'm going to kind of go through a couple different phases of scripts and what I'm actually saying, as far as the phone call conversation, as far as what I'm doing during the appointment, and then how I'm getting the referrals at the end. So let's get started. So when I call somebody, I'm not just saying a simple script and then just setting an appointment. When I get on the phone with a referral, my goal is to make sure that I get as much information as possible from that person before I actually do the appointment. And that way I can determine, number one, if it's a good appointment to do. So when I get on the phone, I'm going to explain right at the beginning how I get paid. And it's kind of very simple, short introduction of the phone call. So Marin, right? So let's say Josh referred me to Marin. And as soon as I get on the phone, I'm be like, hey, Marin, this is Shondell. I was just reaching out to you because we have mutual friends with Josh. I'm actually a financial advisor. I've been doing this for about almost 10 years now, almost a decade. And the cool thing about how I help my clients is I don't actually charge any fees. I just ask for 5 to 10 introductions, and that's why Josh introduced me to you. So I just start off right away letting them know that I'm not going to charge any fees. You don't have to pay me anything. All you got to do is give me 5 to 10 introductions. So that kind of lightens up the conversation before I even get into it. And then I'm going to find out a little bit about the referral and figure out, okay, how do you know Josh, right? Is this a friend? Is it a coworker? Is it a family member? Do you really know this person at all? Like, how long have you known him? Has it been like, oh, I just met him at work? Or is it a personal relationship? Because that'll help as well. Because, like, for example, I mean, I had a client that referred me to a lady, and it was funny because Mike heard the conversation, and he's a physician assistant and makes a significant amount of money, and he referred me to this lady. And when the lady answered the phone, she was like, oh my gosh, I love John. I love this guy. He's like the best guy in the world. Like, I trust him with my life. Like, anything he says, I will do, blah, blah, blah. And she just was going on for like a good 5 minutes about John. I was like, oh, this is gonna be easy when I talk to her because she loves this guy and she trusts him so much, right? So it's very, very important to figure out where that relationship is. And when they have that credibility, just like how we're looking for credibility from a recruit into their warm market, it's the same thing when you're working with the referrals as well. So that's big. So then I let them know that I am specializing in 4 major areas. So Marin, I do help out with 4 different areas. I help people eliminate their debt, whether it's car payments, student loans, college student loans, mortgage, credit cards. Then I'm going to help with investments. So anything from emergency fund savings, short-term savings, brokerage accounts, long-term savings, retirement, talking about pensions, any of those areas. And then life insurance. I want to make sure that a family's protected, make sure they have that in place. A lot of times people aren't really thinking about it too much. They may just have a good job. And then college, if you have kids, then I want to make sure that the kids are set up. So I'm going to let them know that those are the areas that I specialize in, and then just find out, hey, what areas are important to you. So that's where I'm going to start getting as much information as possible. And you want to collect data. So that has been probably the game changer as far as I think my appointments with referrals, because before I get into the appointment, I already know what I'm going to discuss and what they need and what they have. So you guys want to take a picture of this? I think we're going to send it out, but these are some of the questions that I asked. And some of you guys might feel like, oh, wow, how are you asking them all of this information just over the phone? Just ask. Like, some people will literally just tell you everything on the phone. So Aaron, have you ever had a financial advisor or work with one now? They'll tell me, right? Married, significant other. Usually I'll know a little bit about that, but I'm going to confirm. Again, do you live with that person? Do you guys do your finances together? Because I met with people that do have a significant other, but they're like, yeah, we're on very opposite schedules and we don't really do a lot of finances together. I'm not going to wait to set the appointment. I'm still going to set it and meet with them at least. The kids, their ages, what do you do for work now? How long Have you been working there? I think Josh overheard this conversation too when I was talking to somebody. And I asked her how long she was working somewhere, and she had said, "Oh, I just changed jobs, maybe about a year or two ago." And he was like, "Oh, ask her about her 401k." And so I eventually asked about it, but just ask, guys. You can get that information. So we find out, do they provide any retirement benefits, 401k, pension? Do you get a match? If so, how much? Any old 401k accounts? Do you have any additional savings outside of work? Stock accounts, emergency funds? Are you saving monthly right now? Do you have any debt? Credit cards, right? Student loans, car payment, mortgage. Do you have any life insurance through work, private? Just getting all the information. Any medical concerns? I'm asking that too. Any medical concerns? Do you use tobacco? And do you feel that you're paycheck to paycheck or have some room in your budget to set aside towards a plan? That is a very important question. There's been some appointments that I've done, and I didn't ask this question. I got a lot of information, and sometimes if it was an unqualified appointment, let's say somebody is just in their new first job, maybe outside of college, and they are like, yeah, I'd love to be with a financial advisor, get my budget and all this stuff going. I don't really have any debt, and I work. And then you ask them, okay, well, you get an appointment and you figure out, okay, how much are you actually making? And then what is your budget situation? And they're literally making no money, or they don't have any room to add anything to their budget. So you just want to make sure that you're getting these things ahead of time, because it'll really, really kind of make your appointment setting process and meeting with these people a lot more efficient. So let's say, for example, this portion of the phone call might be 10 minutes, 15 minutes. That lady that was talking to me about her friend and going on and on, that was literally like a 30-minute conversation, but the appointment was very, very short, right? So for that, you want to ask those questions. Then after you get all that information, you just want to be assumptive. Throughout my entire phone call process, I'm never asking them to set the appointment. I'm just setting it after I have the conversation. So you want to be assumptive. Hey, that's great, Maren. I think I'll be able to provide a lot of value and help you accomplish most, if not all, of your goals. Like I said, be assumptive. They just gave you all that information. Why would they not need, everything about their finances right now? Do you work remotely, in the office? What hours are you working? Could we meet? Do we need to meet after work? Do you have a lunch break? Are you flexible with your schedule? So I can figure out when I can meet, because some people would rather meet during the day. If they have kids, they might not want to meet in the evenings, or they want to push it to the weekend. If I'm trying to set something right away, I'm like, hey, do you have a lunch break? Maybe we can meet during that time. And then set the time, send the financial house video. So when I send them the video, I'm going to say, hey guys, hey Maren, before we meet, I really want to make sure that you have a solid foundation on what it is that we're going to be talking about in the meeting. It'll help us save a lot of time, and it'll just go over a lot of the concepts that we teach. So if you can watch that video, there's going to be a little survey at the end. You just check the boxes that you're interested in, and then that'll also let me know to make sure to go over those areas with you so I don't forget anything. So just very good service, when you're meeting with the client and just, talking to them, letting them know that you're addressing their needs and their concerns by the time you get into the appointment. So that's been great. And then now, so that's all. First phone call, setting up the appointment.
And really all you did, if I'm not mistaken, is you asked them pre-prepared questions and you sent a video.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
On the phone call.
Just so everybody understands.
Yeah.
She asked questions that were written down, and then she sent a video.
So then when I get on the appointment, guys, super easy. Thank them for their time. Just recap a little bit about Primerica and the stats, the companies that we partner with. Again, explain how I get paid. These companies, next slide. All of these companies here are listed. They pay me directly, so you don't have to. You don't have to pay me per hour, per visit, and additional advisor fee, 1 to 2%. All I ask is that if you feel that I conducted myself professionally, provided value, that you just introduce me to 5 to 10 other people that you think could benefit. That's why, again, Maren, Josh introduced me to you, right? Is that fair? Cool. So I explained that. Then I'm going to ask them if they learned anything from the video. because I need to know if they did watch it. Usually you get the survey prior, but sometimes people don't fill it out. So I asked them if they learned anything. That's very important because that'll also let you understand kind of their level of knowledge within these areas. So they might say, oh yeah, that was a little bit of a refresher for me. I knew a little bit about it, but that rule of 72, that was new. I didn't know that before. Or man, group insurance really is not a good option, right? So a lot of those things are discussed in the video. So you'll kind of get that feedback. Then I'll go through the financial house slide, recap all the things that I went over with them on the phone. Then just go through the areas of importance to them if they want to talk a little bit about budgeting. But really, I have all the information, and I know I'm going to either kill group insurance, or I'm going to talk about their TSP, or maybe mention debt stacker. But it's really just all the data was collected, and now it's just explaining a couple concepts. Hey, don't do cash value, term, don't rely on group, quote, and then kind of go from there, guys. So it's not too complicated once you actually get on the appointment. And then after I get the money commitment, that's when I'm going to ask for the referral. So for anybody that is using our CRM that we have Level Up, we do have a link that you can send out. So I'll send that to them. If you guys aren't using that, you can just ask some of the questions here. So Maren, again, it's going to take me about 3 to 5 minutes to go through some of these numbers. This is if I'm going through the quote. Like I said, I don't charge a fee for my time, but I just ask for introduction. So do you feel that I conducted myself professionally with you today, Maren? Yes. Perfect. Do you feel that you learned something new and it was valuable information? Yes. Perfect. And did I answer all the questions you had, maybe even some of the ones that you didn't ask? Awesome. And do you feel that there are other people just like you that deserve to hear the same information? Perfect. So what I'm going to do now, Maren, is just send you a link. And you can just start filling it out with the 5 to 10 introductions. It's going to ask them some information. So if you don't have the link, then this is exactly what you ask them. Hey, if you can do me a favor, just text me. This is what I did before I had the link. Just text me their first and last name. If you know what they do for work, are they married? Do they have kids? And their relationship to you, phone number, email, and then it'll just take me a couple minutes to run these numbers. On my link, it's easy. So if you guys are using Level Up, get your referrals link set up. I just send it to them and tell them, hey, just put your first name in the first line and fill everything else out. And I'm running quotes, or I'm making a plan for their dollar commitment, whether it's towards insurance, investments, all those various areas. And I'm getting a text on my phone, boom, 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 all the referrals coming in, right? So that's awesome. Oh, last year, don't go over the options until you get some referrals. Get at least one. It might be like 5 minutes go by and I'm like, dang, I didn't get a text. So now I'm like, hey, did you get a chance to fill it out? And they're like, oh, you wanted me to do it right now? Yeah, can you fill it out for me? It's just taking me a couple minutes to run these numbers and at least get one. If you can get one, and then say, okay, on the next meeting, I'll try to get a couple more at that point. So once you get the referrals, then I send that text right away. So this is what it says. It says, hey, Vonday, this is Shondell Dobie. I was able to meet with Maren as a financial advisor and provided a lot of value on the way she used her finances. She felt you deserve to hear the same information as well. It's free. Would you be able to take a 5-minute phone call from me today or tomorrow? Thanks. That's it. And I send that out right away. If they answer right away, I'll call them. A lot of people are like, yeah, of course. Or like that lady, a couple people from that guy, James, they were all like, yes, of course, James said great things about you, blah, 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 all of this. And they're like, yeah, call me this time, or I'm free right now. Some people don't respond though. So then I wait a day and then I'll just call them the next day. Either way, but they still got a heads up. So yeah, that's all I do. Let me go over. Anybody have questions? Then I'll tell you guys about my comments that I got.
I do have a question. So when you send that or ask them for referrals, do you ever ask them to let the people know that you'll be reaching out, and you kind of just
Yeah, for sure. So a lot of my referral clients came from referrals. So they already got the text. They already know I'm going to kind of let them know. But if it's the first time in the conversation, then yeah, I definitely want to say, hey, they'll get a text before I even call them. You can let them know if you want. That'd be great. You want to call them or text them, hey, Sean, let's reach out, and then go from there. Anybody else? Yeah.
When someone's not got like a lot of budget left, like, do you still meet with them, or do you just
It depends. If they are like, if I find out that they're a student, they're living at home, they're not really making much money, and maybe they're gonna graduate in the next 3 months, I'll be like, hey, I don't think this is a great time necessarily to meet now. There's not gonna be too much that I'm gonna be able to do in your situation, but once you get your full-time job, then great, we can set a time to meet back, right? Or if
Well,
somebody's in between jobs.
Well, the question is, why would you?
Yeah,
There are answers to that question. Why would you? So you asked a question, did you think in your mind like, well, why would you?
we're not doing this for free.
Right.
You gotta think about that too. Cool. Anybody else? All right, let me tell you really fast. So I got 5 clients at 5,600. So I got a max case from a client that I got through a field training appointment like years ago. And in September, I was sending out a bunch of text messages through the CRM saying, hey, it's September, it's Life Insurance Awareness Month. Just checking in, just want to know if you knew anybody that has only group insurance, cash value, let me know. And somebody referred me to this guy, Everard, and he rescheduled on me like 3 times last minute. And then I finally got to meet him, got a max case. From that, then I met with a girl, Demi, who I got referred to her back in April, I think, and then followed up with her. And she's like, hey, I'm ready. Then we met 2 times and we were supposed to close. And then she's like, hey, I still want to talk to my dad. And then I just followed up again and then met with her, got a $50 app. Then Ashley is one of my current clients that I met. It was a friend from college. So I met him, was just following up, and he was like, hey, I'm engaged, gonna be married next year. I'd love for you to talk to my fiance. We're looking to buy a house. So I met with her, and that was a $72 app. And then working with Shalene, who's in New Jersey, we did a seminar maybe I think it was last year. I did a seminar over Zoom. It was the midst of COVID. And the lady that did the seminar, she kind of recorded a little snippet of it, and then she just sends it out to her. She had like this millionaires group of women. And this lady just emailed me. And well, first she hit me up on Instagram. I was like, who's this lady? And she's like, oh, I went to Lisa's class and I saw you on there and I'd love to meet with you, talk with you. So that was there. And then that was a $90 app. And then I got another $50 app from current client, met with his wife last month, and then the wife referred me to her sister. And then that was the first app that I got this month. So that's all my apps. All of them are from referrals. Cool. That's all I got.